Let's take a look at Graves Foundry. It's a bar mill scale model works kit, which is sitting right behind me, right there. Let me give you another view of it. And you can see right here, this is the side view. It's got a crane on the back, and it looks difficult, but it's not. It took me 5 days to build, off and on in those 5 days. So let me walk you through some of the things that I did to get it to this point right here. We're working on Graves Foundry right now. This thing right here, it's in the box. And last night I cut everything up and put the bracing on. And this morning I primered and put the first coat paint on. The primer, and put primer on both sides, and then put the color on the walls. This is in the buff. That's right there, out of the rattle can. It's a pretty easy kit. It's got 4 sides, 4 walls, and then a little bump out. It's got an extended wall right here for the little bump out right there. You can see I did all this in India ink. Did that in the primer. I'm going to keep it that color. So there's all the window panes and the other stuff. This goes around the corner of the building. This is the resin casting. That's primered, so I have to paint that yet. This kit has a lot of windows. And just finished scraping off the flash off the white metal parts also. Here's all the sprues. Ready for a coat of paint. Sadie's ready to go for a ride, huh? You ready, Sadie? Come here, Sadie. Sadie, come here. Come here. You ready to go for a ride? Yes, you are. Okay. There you go. All right. You've been waiting, yeah. All right, just finished putting the primer coat on here, and I think I'm just going to leave it like that as the primer. We're going to leave the windows and doors like that. I installed the plastic windows and the laser cut wood doors. I left one of them open, and I also put some trim in at the end of the day. This is late at night, after midnight. This is when I usually quit. And this is when I wind things down and take a look at what I've done. I applied individual planks. It calls for 2x6, but I don't think there was enough 2x6 on there. It says there was just 4 2x6s, but I had some 2x8s left over from another project. They were already stained with the Indian ink, and it fit on there perfect. I added some bracing so I could put a second floor in there. And I'm also going to have to put a floor right here because this door is open. So I'm going to have a little piece of floor right here just to show that there's something inside. But I cut this, an old calendar, mini calendar that I had sitting up on a wall here, Arbor Day Foundation. I'll have to paint that and put it in there. One more thing, that I hit the inside of the windows with matte finish, so you can't see through them. So that's what it looks like. Okay, let me turn this around so you can see the outside. That's what it'll look like right there. You won't be able to see in the windows. You'll just be able to see light inside there and a silhouette if there's anything right behind the window. Got the floor in there, got it braced up to the right level, nice and square in there. Bring it around here this way. I'm just letting the glue dry right now. So that's what it's going to look like. And I'm going to have to put a wall in there because you're going to see the back. But that's going to be fine. I'll put 2 walls in there. While I'm waiting for the glue dry on here, I'll show you the roof panels. I'm going to be painting text up on the roof, mainly because if you look at in here, there's not a lot of room for lettering on the sides of the building because, well, there's a little place right there for a sign. Not much room, so we're pretty limited. So what I'm going to do, I painted this white, and I'm going to find some, this is supposed to be a metal roofs, and where these lines are, let me show you these little things right here will go into there. So what I'm going to do is get some lettering and put it in between there. While I was staining on the floor, which is, show you the floor right there, I put some Indian ink on the loading dock right there. And I'm going to have to put some lighter color. At least I got the India ink in the crevices to highlight the creases in there. That's what I wanted to do. But I'll go over it with a dry brush on a lighter color. Maybe like some type of gray. And do these floorboards on there. Waiting for the glue to dry again. I'm going to have to find my lettering, and I hope it's narrow enough between those scribe lines in there. And basically what you do is you put your lettering in there, and then I'll put the this pill and stick stuff in to simulate the ridges on the steel roof or the metal roof, and then paint it like green. I think I'll paint it green. Once the paint's dry, then peel the lettering off so the lettering will show up at this base color right here. I got as far as I could go right now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm tired. So let me show you what's here. Bump out on, I got the platform there, and I added a little piece right there up against the door to come up to the height of the door because there was a little gap right there. And so I put the wall in there, and I had to weigh down the floor. I put a brace underneath to keep it stiff because it started to buckle. So, I mean, this is a really thin. I think this is, that piece right there is balsa wood, not basswood, because it's I think it was a Woodland Scenics kit. And it wasn't, even though I put supports on the bottom of it, it wasn't, it buckled up, so I put a cross brace on it coming this way, that way, and weighed it down with the square, and then I got the wall in there, glued the wall in place. And so this is where I'm giving it up for the night. I found some lettering at Michael's, but I had to use lowercase up here because the uppercase M was too wide. So I went with all lowercase on that. And fortunately, the A, this is a little bit wider. These are 1/2-inch letters. The main roof is ready for painting, almost. I just have to trim off the little pieces on here now. So let's take a look at it. Okay, it took me a while to put these on. Had to cut each one of those off individually. These are pill and stick, so I had to remove the backing and then stick them on there and then trim them up. I trimmed the other side. Now it's time to trim this side right here. And once I do that, I'll be able to paint it. Now here's the cupola roof that I painted. And you can see I called it Arduinis. And I'm going to take a break after this because this took a long time and my back hurts. I guess this one right here is the sprue cutter. I get the sprue cutter. Yeah, this is the sprue cutter because there's no nicks in it. So the sprue cutter has no nicks and the rail nipper has the nicks in it. Okay. I thought the crane would be difficult to assemble, but it wasn't too bad. Had to put all these parts together. Drill a hole top and bottom of that. And I have to cut a couple of more pins because you can see there's a pin on the bottom, pin on the top, one over here, and then one over here. And so, and this piece right here, that goes on right up here. And so it will be able to swivel. Well, I started to get the India ink out and the paint out and start painting stuff and weathering and everything. So let's take a look at what we got. I called it Arduini's Manufacturing. I did a little bit of weathering on that right there. I could probably do more. I just use gray and yellow ochre to get the effects on gray on the stone and also gray on the wood. So there's the one side and here's the other side. I still got to do a couple of more colors in here. I got to do the barrels. Over here, I got to do the rope, the barrels over there, and the bags right here. And then let me turn this around right here. Well, I'll just show you the roof. Did a dry brush of gray on the roof. And a dry brush of gray all the way around. So I got a lot more weathering to do. But it's late and I stained this wood right here. Oops, the crane. And I have to find my rust paint or rust oxide so I could do the metal on here. So that's about, and then a couple of these over here. That right there was a total of 4 days. Now, these photos that are coming up next, this is the 5th day where I did some finishing touches on it, mounted it on the styrene and did some more weathering and did some landscaping around it, and finally put it in this location where you could see it right here. So that looks pretty good. And I'm glad that I did this one. It wasn't that hard. It looks very difficult. It was a limited edition kit. The original kit came with another building, an elevator, Graves elevator. I bought this at a train show from a vendor in Tampa a few years ago. So I've been waiting a long time to put this thing together, and finally I got it, and I really enjoy looking into this thing right here. I love it right behind me. And by the way, I'm halfway finished with the next kit, Majestic Hardware. Art Fahey was kind enough to send me that one to put together. So that's the next video coming out. So until next time, we'll see ya. And have fun building those kits.